Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Override. An Override here is a very intriguing figure. Being released in Legacy as the Walmart exclusive Speedia 500. She was one of the two new molds in that, the other one being the heavily sought-after Cosmos. We don't speak about Cosmos, he's just stupid, and I know he just got re-released, but Amazon canceled my pre-order. God damn it, Amazon, it's the second time they've done that. I had a S8 Figuarts Goku Ultra Instinct pre-ordered, and they canceled that one too. It was so stupid. It was because they were on sale, I think. The only one that actually went through was Slipstream, weirdly enough, out of all of the ones. But this here is Override, and Override here is an odd character. I'm going to refer to her as her because that's what the wiki referred to her as, and I'm only saying this because in Japanese she is a guy, apparently. That happens sometimes in dubs. I guess they are just robots, aren't they? It's really not a big deal. But Override is intriguing. Looking very spiffy with the red and white for Valentine's. I forgot about Valentine's Day, if I'm being honest with you. And I probably could have used Boo for that, but I did not. Anyway, looking at the figure, the design is very nice. I love the arms. They look super good with that kind of charcoal and gold. Looks amazing. The legs look pretty okay, in my opinion. I love the shins, but the thighs are a little thin. Like, they're way too thin. I feel like they need to be bulked out a bit more. And the other thing is they have some paint bleeding down here by the kneecaps, which is a little iffy. It's just kind of saddening. The torso does look good, and it actually is quite filled out. It's just with the translucent cockpit there, which is well painted with a nice little bit of gold and blue on it. The back is... it ain't great. The legs are hollow. The back's kind of good, but you can fill it in with the weapon if you'd like. You just have to fold it up, and you can insert that back there, and there you go. Speaking of the weapon, I guess we should talk about it. The weapon here is based off of Override's Cybertron weapon, of course, which in the initial version used planet keys, which are technically compatible. It's compatible with the OG planet keys. Obviously, we don't have a spring-loaded gimmick anymore, though, because those are illegal, I guess. I really do miss those. It just holds the gun in the hand. You put it in the port on the arm, even though they're really shallow. I typically put it on the arm just because I feel like it works better as like a shield gun. One thing to note, though, because in Legacy United, we actually got 4 figures that came with Cyber Planet keys. I know. That being one of them being Cannonball there, who we have taken a look at in the past. Trying his planet key out here, does it function? It kind of does. It actually kind of like clips in, not exactly where it should, but you can kind of get it perfectly lined up. That works. And I believe she uses the Velocitron key, which is the red one that would come with Hotshot. So if you did want to try to get the correct one, you can. But that's just to show that, yeah, that's kind of weird that it has that compatibility. Honestly, this figure came out 2 or 3 years before, which is intriguing. Probably even thought about this, because that's really new to just United in general. And that's pretty much it for the figure, other than, of course, articulation, which looks pretty alright, I guess. You have a ball joint in the head, but it's going inward, so it's kind of restricted. The motion around is pretty good, though, which is nice. Arms go forward and back, outward, a swivel right there, a elbow joint, wrist swivel, of course. Waist rotation is very limited due to the backpack. Very unfortunate. Forward and back. Back is a little restricted due to the backpack as well. Outward knee joint goes a little above 90. Forward and back tilt along with a inward, which is a little more restrictive, but it is there. So at least it is. And that's basically it for the articulation, and that's basically it for the robot mode. I think it's a pretty solid robot. The only thing to note is that it is a Voyager class, and as you've seen, a little taller, but this figure kind of feels deluxe-ish, weirdly enough. Because there is deluxes that are this size. There is a couple that exist. But that's really all I have to note, so let's just get into the transformation, which is pretty interesting, actually. First thing we're going to do is come to the feet and fold out these panels down here that I mentioned that look kind of ugly. Fold in the legs like so. And then from there, you're going to want to unpeg the legs and leave them like this for the time being. Come up to the top, and you're going to want to unpeg the side parts of the shoulders and fold up the chest and head like so into the backpack. From there, you're going to want to move the crotch forward like that. And then you're going to want to take these, and they're kind of on like slider joints. Which, yeah, that's a little weird. Haven't seen them in a while. And I think this is the only other time I've seen them in recent memory. Is this figure. This figure just has slider joints for some reason. Like, there's legitimately no reason for this figure to have them, and they just kind of threw them in there. Which is pretty cool. Anyway, take them, pull them out all the way, fold it, and they do tab in. There's a little tab, it goes into that red section there. And then from there, take the arms, fold them in like this, and they do peg together. And then from there, take them, I do have them backwards, I think they're supposed to go like this. At least I usually put them like this. So it kind of keeps the cohesive look going. It kind of goes upward a little bit. You see what I mean? And they do peg in, but you would have to rotate the hands. It's one of the weird ones, because typically you don't have to rotate them, but this case you do if you want it to kind of have that line go up. Anyway, from there, we're basically done. Just take the legs here, make sure everything is straightened out. And just get that under there. And put that there like that. And there we have Override in her alt form, which is this weird little space car, which, honestly, the angles are really cool. I like the angles, but it's a little odd. I mean, full transparency, it looks good in the front, but I think it falls apart in the back a little bit. Like, back here's fine. It's just kind of in the middle. Kind of see the arms. I feel like the knee pads, if they could have shifted a little bit, maybe. That would have been nice. The wheels are cool. They're translucent red with some gold. The cockpit looks nice. The face is hidden, luckily. This is accurate to have the head sticking out, so there is that. Unfortunately, you can't get the planet key gimmick to actually go in this form. It's blocked. So that's a shame. But, I mean, overall, it looks pretty okay. This part up here is painted really nicely to note with some nice blue. And it does roll. Can't see it, but it rolls, which is pretty good. And that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It looks pretty all right, but the back end, it just feels like it's a little weird. I feel like the knees kind of ruin it a little. Like, I feel like if they had been able to, like, fold in a little more or something, that would have been good. Again, it's just a little strange. But that's basically it for Override, and let's just get to my final thoughts on her. And as far as it goes, she is pretty good. I mean, there's not really a ton of issues. Most of it's nitpicks, if I'm being honest. The robot is really solid, and I do actually enjoy the transformation. The car mode, it's a little iffy, but it's a Cybertron car mode, so you just have to sit there and bear with it, because, again, not a real car. It can technically be whatever it wants, so technically it can't be inaccurate in a way. Could it have been a little better? I still think it could have been better, but it's not bad. It's not trying to be an actual thing, so there's not really much to critique on it other than it's a little gappy in that one section. That's about it. And there we have that. And oh, there it is, robot mode again. And as far as it goes, it's just good. The robot, great. Car mode, iffy. Probably the worst part of the whole thing. Transformation is pretty good. And, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say on her. She is good, but I don't think she's, like, perfect. She's kind of like a... I'm going to give her a 3. I just don't know. The alt mode's fine. The robot's fine. But it's just kind of a forgettable figure and one that was very skippable. In fact, ended up shelf warming in my area. I got it for $15. That was about $30 off the initial price, by the way. So I got it quite a bit cheaper. And she just wouldn't leave. I don't know why. She just would not leave the shelves. But that is essentially it. 3 out of 5. This has been my review of Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Override. This has been Eltat Elite signing out.